So today, we're going to talk about something incredible. A hidden conversation that's happening all around us, right under our feet, that will completely change the way you see the woods. We're diving into the Wood Wide Web.
I mean, think about the last time you walked through a forest. It feels quiet, right? Peaceful. But what if I told you that all that silence is just, well, it's just what our ears can pick up? What if, right below your boots, there's a massive, complex conversation going on?
To really get what's happening, we first have to kind of peel back our old-school view of the forest, what we think we're seeing when we look up at all those trees.
For the longest time, we've looked at a forest and just seen a bunch of individual trees. We pictured them as these silent competitors, all fighting for their own patch of sunlight, their own bit of water. It was this slow-motion battle, survival of the fittest. But it turns out, that's not even half the story.
Because to get the full picture, we have to stop looking up and start looking down. Deep beneath the soil. That's where the real magic is happening.
Yeah, the real action, the drama, the cooperation, the communication. It's not up in the branches. It's happening in this enormous, hidden network that connects basically everything. And here it is. This is the Wood Wide Web. So what is it? It's a massive underground network made of these superfine fungal threads. The fancy term is mycorrhizal fungi, but just think of them as living biological fiber optic cables. And these threads connect the root systems of all the different trees, sometimes over huge distances. It's like a shared infrastructure for the entire forest.
And what's so cool is how perfectly this whole thing maps onto our own human internet. It's a fantastic analogy. The fungal threads, those are the fiber optic cables. The individual trees, they're the nodes, kind of like computers or servers plugged into the network. And instead of sending digital data, the forest is sending information using chemical and electrical signals. It's a biological internet built by nature.
Okay, so if it's an internet, it's got to have a way to send messages, right? What language are these trees even speaking? Let's break down how this communication actually works.
Well, it turns out they're basically bilingual. First, they use chemical signals. You can think of these as little data packets. They can carry specific messages, or they can even be used to physically send resources like carbon, nitrogen, and water from one tree to another that needs it. But then there's the second language, electrical signals. And yes, it's just like it sounds. Similar to the synapses in our own nervous system, electrical impulses can shoot through this fungal network, sending information almost instantly. And this right here shows you just how powerful this system is in the real world. So imagine, a beetle starts chewing on a tree on one side of the forest. That tree doesn't just sit there and take it. It blasts out these chemical distress signals through the network. Its neighbors get the message, and here's the incredible part. They start pumping out defensive compounds in their own leaves before the beetle even gets to them. It's a community-wide, real-time alarm system. Amazing!
Which, of course, brings up a really fundamental question. Why? Why would a forest evolve to be so cooperative? Why not just have every tree for itself?
Well, the answer is pretty simple, actually. A connected forest is a stronger forest, a more resilient one. And this network does way more than just warn about bugs. For instance, you've got these big central hub trees, which some scientists call mother trees. They're like the community centers. They can pump extra carbon and nutrients through the web to help out the little saplings struggling in the shade. It's a system that's designed to lift up its weakest members, because everyone understands that the health of the whole community is what really matters for survival.
So what does this all mean for us? This discovery, it's not just some cool, fun fact about trees. It actually forces us to change our entire view of the natural world.
We have to move away from this idea of a forest as just a random collection of individual plants. Instead, we're starting to see it as a single, intelligent, interconnected superorganism, an entity that can learn, communicate, share, and act as a coordinated whole.
So, the next time you're out walking among those giants, just remember this. Underneath all that quiet, there is a constant, vibrant conversation going on, literally right under your feet.
And that leaves us with one last, really fascinating question to ponder. I mean, the Wood Wide Web was hiding in plain sight for all of human history. If a system this complex and beautiful exists in our forests, what other incredible conversations, what other hidden networks are going on all around us in the natural world that we are only just now beginning to learn how to hear?